Hi, my name is Ariel, and together with our partners, we drive the energy transition in Europe.
My name is Christoph. We are here today in Berlin at the large gas turbine factory, where tomorrow we will produce electrolyzers for hydrogen production as well.
Ariel, Christoph, thanks for joining me today. What's Europe's role in the global energy transition, and has that role changed this year?
Yeah, I think it's a very important question because Europe, if we look at the world now, of course, we have this big trilemma. Energy needs to be reliable, sustainable, and affordable. And we need to find a way how to balance those three. We have the 2030 goals, we have the 2050 goals, we have neutral climate goals. We're all aware of it, and there's also massive investments behind. Definitely, we have now challenges in Europe, as we all know, and I think there's a lot of sense and a lot of focus now more on other topics than before, but we shouldn't forget about sustainability. And also, when we look at what the governments are talking about and what they're doing, they have not changed their long-term investments and their long-term goals for decarbonization. So if we look at this, Europe definitely has many important roles to play in this decarbonization and sustainability that we have in the world, showing how we do things, pilot projects that we have already, and really teaching the world how to get there.
Everyone says the time for talking is over and it's the time for doing now and to accelerate the energy transition. But can it go any faster? And if it can, how? And if there are any stumbling blocks, what are they?
Yeah, the energy transition needs to go faster, of course. As you mentioned, I think the key things is really to make sure that we have pilot projects now that we learn together, we with our partners, because no one can do this on their own. We have many pilots now, for example, if we talk about green hydrogen, right? We all talk about green hydrogen as one solution, hydrogen economy in the future that will help us decarbonize. But we need to learn how to do this. So this is why we, together with our partners in Europe, come up with many pilot projects, and this is what we need to continue to do and learn, and then scale it up. If we talk about other topics and hurdles that we see, we all talk about the increase of wind power that needs to happen and PV, photovoltaic power, and everything. We tend to forget a little bit about the transmission. Even if we build a lot of gigawatts of wind power, we need to also connect them to the network. What we see today as hurdles, for example, is the time that it takes from building transmission lines, HVDC lines, for example, because of a lot of permissions that need to take place, right? These things take time, and we hope that these things will be shortened and will make us do the things faster and help us really reach our goals.
You've talked a lot about collaboration with your partners. How important is that, and how much of a game changer is it for the energy transition to work collaboratively and not competitively?
It's super important to work together, and because there is no one silver bullet, there is no one way to decarbonize. We don't know exactly all the answers. We don't have all the answers how everything will look like in 2050, but we have the goals and we have a vision, and there is no one country or one entity or company that can do this on their own, and we must collaborate. If we look at the North Sea, for example, right? We have a few countries surrounding the North Sea. They need to cooperate. If we look at the companies, of course, we all need to cooperate. We are cooperating there with many companies as well to build connections, HVDC connections to Germany, for example, that Christoph can also talk about, to decarbonize our assets next to the UK, for example, the oil and gas assets. But we cannot do this on our own. We have our very good solutions, and we need to partner with others because it doesn't work otherwise.
And when we talk about that circle of collaboration, is there anyone who at the moment perhaps isn't in that circle or isn't as deep into it as they could be, who you think needs to be included, particularly perhaps customers and consumers?
I think what we need to do is have more honest discussion with the end users and explain what this actually means, right? Because let's be very honest, it will also cost more. Producing, for example, refrigerator from steel, from green steel. Green steel is steel which is produced by renewable ways. costs more than the normal steel that we know today, which means the refrigerator will cost more. And somebody needs to pay for this. This is the right way, right? We need to become sustainable, we need to become carbon neutral. But we need to have honest dialogue about this and really educate and take everyone with us. And it's also not only a Europe topic, right? In the end, there is no borders to CO2 and whatever we need to do. It's beyond Europe, it's Africa, it's places which are more difficult to decarbonize. We need to have these honest discussions. We need to explain what this actually means and take those people together with us.
You talked about green steel there, which involves hydrogen, and you mentioned hydrogen earlier. But do you think these concerns might just act as a springboard to leverage the acceleration of those clean green gases that you've talked about, including hydrogen, but not just including hydrogen?
This current situation made us understand that we need to even decarbonize faster and find a better mix, let's say, of energy. The energy mix is built of many, many components. Green hydrogen is only one of them. How much will it be out of the total 100%? This is for policymakers also to decide and see and take actions. I think what we need to do as a company and other companies is really cooperate and have, as I said before, also really pilot projects that we can work together and showcase how this actually works. So we have a few projects, for example, in the North Sea, where we harness the energy coming from the wind, translate this into green hydrogen, and then transport it, for example, to the mainland or whatever it is used. This is what we need to do, and we need to do much more and faster with all our partners together, learn, scale it, and then it will work.
You've mentioned there about the North Sea, and I wonder, how important is the North Sea to the energy transition, and what is its untapped potential?
The North Sea is, of course, was a very important source of energy for Europe, and it definitely needs to be tapped much more, and I think everyone understands now what this actually means. So the North Sea will play a very important and dominant role in decarbonizing Europe and reaching its 2050 goals. We have many things that we can do there. So, for example, as you mentioned as well, right, we need to harness the wind power there. It's green, it's available, let's use it. Second topic is really also to transmit the electricity. So if we take, for example, a new HVDC line that we now won between the UK and Germany, this HVDC line is called NeuConnect, and it will give 1.8 million people electricity. It will help also balance the demand of electricity which we have. So just imagine that now you have excess wind in the UK, but you need more electricity in Germany. This HVDC line will enable you to use this and transmit the electricity to Germany, and vice versa, of course, right? So we're not losing the wind, so to say, and we have more green electricity. And of course, the third topic that we can talk and should do in the North Sea is decarbonize our current oil and gas assets, which are there. And when we talk about this, we have those assets, for example, next to the UK, but not only, right? We have our carbon clusters in the UK, which we need to decarbonize. And we talk about decarbonization, we talk about mainly about electrification of those assets, automation, and digitalization.
A lot of what we've already discussed is underpinned by the need for energy storage. How do you see the role of storage evolving in Europe?
Storage, of course, is one of the key components to make sure that we can decarbonize. Now, when we talk about storage, there are many solutions, right? We have batteries as one option. We have thermal storage, but also hydrogen can become a storage, right? I mean, if you produce hydrogen and then use and store it and use it when you need it, it is also storage. The idea is really to use it when we need it. Obviously, it sounds very easy, but we saw what happened in the UK last year when we didn't have enough wind. So this is one example. Of course, we also saw what happened in the US, right, when we didn't have enough energy. This is exactly what we need to do. We need to bring those things together. This is going back to what I said before, that there is no one silver bullet or one company or one technology that can fit everything into what we need. It is a combination of many solutions and many energy mixes together. And storage is definitely what we need to do, because we cannot only rely on the sun or the wind.
Do you think the role of energy efficiency in Europe has been overlooked or underplayed up to now, because suddenly this year it's become Very, very important. And what do you think we should be doing to make buildings, homes, and industry as energy efficient as possible?
I think that there's still a lot of untapped potential. We talk a lot about renewables, and I go back again to discussing with everyone and explaining and educating what does this mean. Take, for example, Keadby 2 in the UK, where we're just installing our HL machine, which is a combined cycle power plant, which is the most efficient power plant, our HL machine, in the world. When I talk about efficiency, this means less heat is being emitted to the air, to the atmosphere, and of course less CO2, which means it's polluting less. We can use the heat which is emitted by power plants or by industrial processes and use it for district heating. We know Europe gets very cold during winter, so why use more electricity to heat the district and the people and not use the heat which is anyways emitted through the processes and utilize this? We have very good examples where we use our heat pumps to actually use this, and maybe Christoph can give also an example from Germany where we have ample of examples there.
First of all, to understand and to think the energy transition is not switching a button, doing it from today to tomorrow. It takes time and heavy investments, but good examples are there already. Heat pump, as you mentioned, and we're in Berlin here. So in Berlin, we have a project with Vattenfall Wärme where we at Potsdamer Platz put heat pump that will supply, I think, around 3,500 households with heat. So we reduce, or we take the waste heat that we have from the energy production and distribute or use it for distributed heating in households. And there's other examples in many areas of the industry where we do this. It's rather simple. It's not such a new idea, but it gets another push, another attention now to look at it and really to implement it. Heat pump district heating for one example here in Berlin. Another one with the Mannheim-based utility there. We take the River Rhine and really takes the River Rhine as a heat source and heavy heat pump installed there, also used for heating. It's not the new innovations that we need right now. We have a lot available already. We just need to implement. Coming to your question or relating to your question on what is it? Do we need something new? I think we need to look what we have and implement it, and that really speeds up the transition in the situation we're in today.
And Christoph, in Germany, is that mindset of working with what you have, what you can do today, more important than ever?
This model or this picture of the energy trilemma. You need to have reliable energy, and we were used to have reliable energy. You need to have affordable energy, and it was very much affordable in the past, not too long ago. And we also need to look at sustainability, and it always needs to have the balance where we are. And I think the situation that we are in today with a gas shortage and high prices on the energy market changed the view as a situation. So it pushed it a bit, but it will not make the world change completely tomorrow. As I said before, it's heavy investments and it takes time. I'm also sure it goes a bit faster now than if we would have talked about it last year.
Christoph, you've talked about some of the challenges that Germany is facing. Can you go into some detail into exactly what those challenges are and how is Germany going to overcome them?
We do have very energy heavy intense industries in Germany, so we do need to do something there, and we started already. Heat pump, one example, looking at decarbonization of other processes as well. And we do have many projects already where the coal exit is a known, that is all scheduled. So we do go out of coal. We replace with modern gas engines, as Ariel mentioned before. And it's not only taking coal out, putting a gas engine there. The equipment that we install there today uses gas, but can use hydrogen already, can use liquid fuels at the same time. So the flexibility, the fuel flexibility, the energy generation flexibility is something that we offer, that we implement today already. And I think that is something that we can, from here, from Siemens Energy, but also from Germany, bring it to the world. I think we are very, very good positioned there to be a good example of how to change the systems, make them reliable, affordable, and sustainability with equipment that we have already today.
I think that you asked specifically about Germany, right? I mean, there's a lot of innovation here. I came to learn this as well. There's a lot of innovation. There's a lot of very good and structured processes. For example, I think that the Germans are very good also at looking at the big picture and understanding how to put things together. One example that we have now, we announced in Siemens Energy that we're building a factory for hydrogen. Decided to put it actually here, where we are, in Berlin, next to our existing gas turbine factory. Which we did this on purpose because then you can really see how everything comes together. We can also try afterwards our hydrogen on the turbines and really see how we prepare our turbines to be H2 ready. So this is also part of innovation and the mindset I think that we have here and the idea how to really bring everything together. In addition, we also are doing here at the same place our innovation center where we will also discuss with other partners to come to try to collaborate, to see how everything comes together.
I think that's very important. You mentioned hydrogen here and the electrolyzer plants that we're building here. The heat pump, we don't only talk about it, we don't only do that with customers. At our Mülheim site, I don't know if you are aware of that, just recently we decided we need to put a heat pump there as well, and we will put PV on the whole site. So we really showcase in our own plants because of the need to decarbonize, to save energy, but also to showcase and develop together with customers and then bring it into the market.
So it's a very flexible, adaptable model. Do you think that Germany's Energiewende is essentially the same thing? Do you think it's still on track, or is it something that's fluid and was always going to change track as gains in innovation and technologies came on stream?
The question is what the track of the Energiewende, this energy transition really is. I think the target out there, net zero energy generation, is very clear. Decarbonize the system and sector coupling to it is very clear. I think we know where we want to go. Do we know the exact track, the line? I don't think. So the question, I heard before a question of is it or has it been derailing? I don't know if there was a rail really. I think there was a direction and a clear target, and we need to adjust, and we do today, to the circumstances around.
So if the track isn't yet built to that future, what is it best to wait until the entire track is built and you can see the end of the line, or is it best to just push ahead and build the track incrementally?
The examples that we brought, I think they all bring us into the right direction. So if we now wait for the track to be built and for the clear, okay, this is the route we want to walk down, we are not fast enough. To be clear and honest, I often get the picture or see that people think we will switch off coal, we will switch on hydrogen. That will just not happen, of course not. And the example I brought of having the gas turbines, gas today, dual fuel tomorrow, hydrogen thereafter, and with that going along the direction, forming the transition, I think that is the right way forward and not waiting for the track.
And I think again also the one word that a lot of people use, not only in the energy context, right, is agility. I think now if we look at the world, I think COVID really changed our perception, right? Everything we thought we knew and exactly how everything is going to work, and I think this is what Christoph meant by a track, right? We had a track and then COVID came and, changed all our lives and completely how we live, how we work, how we behave. And we need to be agile. We need to make sure that we are weatherproof as a company, as a society, as a world. And this is why I really believe we shouldn't plan now for the next 30 years exactly each step. We should have a plan, and we have a plan, of course, and we have our goals, and we need to start. And if we need to go 5 degrees right or 5 degrees left, that's perfectly fine, right? We need to adapt to all the things that are changing in our environment.
And you mentioned COVID there. We came out of COVID quicker than we might have done because the world of medicine and science came together and did something that would have taken 8 years in 12 months. Do you think a similar approach is needed in the climate fight?
This is an excellent example of what we can do together and the agility and the quickness that we can do things if we actually cooperate. And cooperation is the name of the game. Now, it's a high word, right? We all use this, but definitely, as I said in the beginning, the decarbonization, sustainability, this is not a European topic only. This will, even if Europe reaches its decarbonization goals and the rest of the world will not help us. We all need to do this. So Europe is the front runner, and it should lead and is leading, in my view at least, the way. But of course, we need to take everyone with us. And this means cooperations, Europe with other partners, be it the US or other partners. And we talk about legislation, we talk about cooperation also in innovation, which is happening also in projects. We have very good ideas for this. For example, we have a project that we're doing, which is called Haro-Uni, right, which is a project in Chile, actually producing green hydrogen there, which would be converted into e-methanol and then moved and be used in Europe. A very small example of cooperation, a project cooperation, right, that we see between continents, and there are millions of other examples that are there, and we should definitely do this because otherwise it won't work. Why not use the sun in one region, which is very sunny, energy in other regions that have less sun, and the wind, and vice versa, etc., just as an example.
There's much that you could be pessimistic about in the energy sector at the moment, but you both seem very optimistic. What are you most excited about in the energy transition at the moment?
I think if you look at our sector, maybe we don't know exactly which technologies will exist in 2050, right? But there is one thing that we know. The world needs more and more energy. Because of Africa, for example, it needs more and more electricity because a lot of people don't have enough electricity today, be it because we need to electrify many of our current assets and so that they become more sustainable. So our energy is booming. For me, it's really cool. And it's really cool also that someone said it before I did, right? So I won't take the credit, but never waste a good crisis, right? And what we see here now is really an opportunity to move and run faster in this whole decarbonization, and sustainability. We see now everyone looking around, and I hear it a lot from other partners as well in countries. Everyone understands what's happening. Everyone understands the need. Everyone wants to collaborate. And people understand that there's a need. And I'm really excited about this. And I really think that we can do this and we can do this together.
You mentioned the collaboration cross-border, internationally, globally. What I'm very excited about is also the collaboration of different industries. When I talk to customers in Germany, be it on the chemical side, be it oil and gas, be it the energy producers, there's nobody that has the answer at the moment. And I think it's very, very exciting, interesting to develop together. So I talked to various companies who said, hey, the DNA of your and our company, we do complete different things. And I mean, if I look at companies in Germany, the oil and gas companies and the energy producers, look 10 years ahead from now or 5 years ahead from now, are they same or are they different? I've just been to a refinery last week, and I learned that the target there is in 2030, they will be completely out of petrol and fuels. And this is really, really exciting. So many opportunities and things to work on, collaborate on, and develop together. I think this is really what excites me.
We've talked a lot about technology, new innovations and breakthroughs, but undercutting it all are the people of the energy transition. How important are people, your company's people, and those people in the energy sector to ensuring the success of the energy transition?
Absolutely is most important. I think the technology is the key, but technology really is not the issue. What makes the difference is the people. As I said before, collaboration is done between people, and it's not done, well, as said, technology is a base, technology is not the issue, collaboration of people, so the people and bringing the minds together, that really is the essence, what is really needed, and what is happening.
If we don't discuss and have open dialogues about everything and what this actually means, then it's going to be very challenging. But I think we are there, and I think the people, as Christoph mentioned, right, the people are the key. The people are the enabler. If people understand, then they have this hunger to invent better things and cooler things, which will lead us there, and will lead us there even faster, right? And having discussions and understanding is actually the key to making sure that we reach there and faster.
Ariel, Christoph, thank you both for joining me today. It's been a pleasure and very, very insightful. Thank you again for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in Frankfurt.